Growing up was difficult for me, and it's not something I was able to identify until I was older in life. But at 5 years old, I was diagnosed with ADHD, and I was a very severe case of ADHD, which means a lot of fun and a lot of impulse and a little difficult to handle. I was also sexually molested by a much older cousin growing up for about 3 years and made things tough. I didn't quite know how to handle myself, and having and keeping friendships was almost impossible for me, even though it was like my deepest heartfelt desire to have these friends. And I didn't have a lot of control over that. And how I acted in wanting to have friendships that just weren't there was very painful for me as a child. I started to learn at a very young age that I was afraid to try a lot of things because I hated failing. I was failing at friendships, I was failing at relationships, and I didn't want to fail at anything else. And so I became more and more reluctant to try anything because I didn't want to fail. I didn't want to look bad. I didn't want anybody else to think less of me because I was already battling that. I found doTERRA. I knew that I wanted to use the oils. I liked what they did. It felt cool. So I wouldn't say that I started diving in headfirst into the business. It was a slow dip my toe in and see how it went. And I looked at the rank of silver, which you make it about $2,000 a month in silver, which would have doubled our monthly income. And I looked at that and thought, there's no way you could ever do that. People don't like you enough for that. You are not influential enough. And you remember that thing about not really having friends? That's probably going to be a problem for you with being successful. And so it took me a while to get going because of a lack of confidence that I had. But I soon realized that I could do this and I was capable of it, and I wanted to change lives, most importantly, my own life. I wanted to build this doTERRA business because I could see the potential with it. And I realized that I had to prioritize time for that so that that could be my long-term future, because I knew that residual income was a very real thing and a very powerful thing. And so creating time and space for that was huge for me. A lot of obstacles came up as I began to build my business, but I wanted to reach the rank of diamond in doTERRA the month I had my twins, and I did it. I was in the hospital towards the end of the month having my babies, and I still achieved my goals, and it was simply a mindset of, I'm going to do this, and I'm going to figure out a way of how to make it happen. One of the primary concerns that people come to me with is, especially women of course, is neglecting their children and not being as good of a mother if they engage in a network marketing business. And I will tell you that over the last 7 years, it has allowed me to give back to my kids so much more because I have done this. I have showed them what it means to set a goal and reach it, and what it means to be successful. And I don't mean financially, but I just mean in life, in achieving something that you've worked towards. I think that's a really huge example for your kids. I didn't realize what a personal development program I signed up for when I began doTERRA, but that's really what this has been for me. And it's been such a blessing to both myself and my family. We've had really great health. Financially, it has taken us to places that I could not even have fathomed 7 years ago when we were living literally in poverty. And if you're sitting there thinking, I can't do this, well, I'm here to tell you that you can. And I've helped a lot of people, including myself, to go really big with this business. And that may not be a financial number that's big, but just personal development that's huge and feeling good about yourself.